And welcome back. Just had a little purple friend pop in. He's like the older brother. I can see it. Now we're gonna need these ender pearls if we're gonna find that stronghold and activate that portal. So we're just gonna do a little thing like this. We're gonna look at him. Oh, you mad? Oh. Score. Text message. Okay. Anyway, focusing. Yeah, so the first little go around with the recording, I didn't really think of much to say. I don't think you guys really want to hear about my graduation. Hasn't happened yet, but even then, it's not really that exciting, in my opinion. Oh no. But, I guess I could talk about it for what it's worth. So, where do I start? Graduation. So this whole week has been, I'm done with school, basically. Monday was my official last day of all my classes, and the rest has just been going to senior meetings and going to senior breakfast and signing yearbooks, and that's like all we've had to be doing. And tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning we have to do some graduation practice because nobody knows what they're doing, and that should go awful. I'm trying to stay optimistic here. Awful. And once that's over, we just get to go home again and then go back to the same place many hours later. I think that's pork chops. I think it starts at 7. It starts at like 7:30, but everybody has to be there by 6. I don't know. I'll look at all the extra details tomorrow when it's actually important. But for now, just, assume know exactly what's going on. Sorry, telling a story. And the school just built its stadium. It's a new school. We're gonna be the first graduating class, and I guess that's kind of cool. And the stadium is fairly big, I would say, but apparently not big enough for all the seniors, because they're limiting everybody who's graduating to 6 graduation tickets. So you can have your parents, some siblings, and like your grandparents go. But in my case, I'm just having my parents and my grandparents go. I don't have siblings. I'm an only child. Sad story, not really. So I had 2 extra tickets, and everybody is trying to get extra tickets constantly. I sold them to. I was originally going to sell them to my friend, and he told me today, because we just got our graduation tickets today at senior breakfast. He told me today that he's like, oh, well, I really don't need them anymore. I'm like, okay, well, time to find somebody else to sell them to, because I didn't want to stay at school and just, anybody who needs some tickets? Anyone? Over here, tickets, selling. Most people are giving everybody crap, hey, you shouldn't be selling those tickets, you should just be giving them away. You know who's saying that? People who want the tickets. So I sold them to somebody else for $15 each, which I think is pretty good considering somebody was saying that you can buy the graduation tickets on Craigslist for like $50 each. I thought that was insane, considering it's just graduation. And it apparently has a chance of raining tomorrow, so everybody would have to go into the gym and have graduation in there, and there's even less spots in the gym, so they give you special tickets where you get 6 and 2 of them are gold and 4 of them are blue. The blue ones are for everybody who's not your 2 parents. So it's a slap in the face if it rains, because anybody who drove a long way or went out of their way to come see you graduate doesn't get to see you graduate just because it's raining. And that is just really stupid, in my opinion. I mean, just delay the graduation until the next day. Nothing's gonna happen. As long as everybody gets to see it who wanted to see it. Like, I'm graduating and I don't even want to be there. That's how bad it is. Somebody get out of my spot. If I had to have a ticket for myself, I would probably sell it. And that's just being honest. Because school, to me, I don't enjoy it. I dread going. Don't you blow up that iron. Ooh. Yeah, I wake up in the morning with negative 10% motivation to get out of bed to go to school. And then when I go there, it's just, this is turning into a very negative conversation. I don't know if I should keep talking. I'm just, like, all the negativity going through my brain. Just try to make this slightly more optimistic, eh? So, this weekend, guess what's coming out? Fast and Furious 6. If anybody's a fan of that movie, probably go see it this weekend. I know I'm going to go see it this weekend. I'm a fan, but I mean, some of the movies get pretty ridiculous. Even the preview where the car is like breaking through the front of the airplane, I'm like, what? How are you gonna? Still gonna watch it. But yeah, I can't wait to go see that. I'm probably gonna go see it on Saturday, maybe Friday, day after graduation. But I think that might be opening day. I don't want to go when there's a lot of people. Big crowd. There was one, I went to go see X-Men 3, or Last Stand is what they call it. And that was the worst experience of my movie theater life. Me and my father went to go see it, and we got there just a little bit late. I mean, previews were already gone, but we haven't missed any of the movie yet. And there are only there's only 2 seats left, and they're at the very front row, in the very corner. So you have to look straight up and a little bit to the side for 2 hours trying to enjoy the movie, and it's it was awful. Like, my neck is all kinked out, and it's not enjoyable. It's like, I think it's time to go. Just kind of have to hunch forward because you can't look down anymore because you've been looking up too long. That's what it started to feel like. Luckily, that movie wasn't super long, like Dark Knight. That, God, almost 3 hours. Last movie I went to go see was Iron Man 3. And I went to go see it 2 weeks ago, and before that, it's been a while since I've been to the movies, but of course it's Iron Man 3, and every Marvel movie gets sold out. Ooh, gold. And it wasn't even the first week the movie was out. It had been a week or 2 since it was out, so I was like, okay, all the people who really wanted to see it's already gone, maybe now I can go and it won't be that crowded. Ha, wrong. I go, and I'm going to like the 2:30 movie or something, and I'm waiting in line behind maybe 9 people, and everybody, Iron Man 3 for 2:30? Oh, I'm sorry, sir, this movie has been sold out. Everybody in the line, and then he's like, well, the next showing is at 3:30. And I got there on time, and I don't want to be just sitting there for an hour waiting. And then there was so many people waiting for the next movie to show that they had a line outside just for those people because they didn't want to let everybody inside to wander the theater, because then, you know, everybody would be movie hopping. And I was like, what am I gonna do? I don't want to wait here for an hour. And then some genius in front of me asked the most brilliant question ever that nobody else thought of. Is there any other time that Iron Man's playing? Yeah, actually, there's one playing in 15 minutes, and it's in 3D, and there's nobody going to that one. Like, well, imagine that, because you didn't bring it up to them. So I start going to the 3D movie, and usually they give you the 3D glass. Okay, all the times they give you the 3D glasses, the little framed, real 3D spectacles, and I didn't get those, so I was like, whoa, has it been this long since I've been to a 3D movie? Do you not even need these glasses anymore? This is crazy. This is gonna be amazing. And then previews are going by, and a little screen comes up. Now would be the right time to put on your real 3D glasses. Please enjoy the film. Everybody starts taking out these glasses out of nowhere, and I'm like, what? Where? Glasses, need. Freaking out. I don't know where to get them, so and when I go to the movies, I went alone, by the way. Loner. But yeah. So I went alone. I'm not sitting by anyone. I got open seat on my left, open seat on my right, completely fine. Open seat in front of me so I can put my feet up, because I don't want to be rude to anybody sitting in front of me. So it was great. And it got ruined by the fact that I didn't have any 3D glasses. And I was not about to go watch a movie without the 3D glasses and it'd be all blurred, and what a waste. So I get up, I go outside to the woman who rips your ticket and goes, okay, your movie is this way and you're going to enjoy the film, hopefully. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And I go out to her again and I tell her I didn't have my glasses. And apparently I was not the only one, because she was very frustrated by the time I told her that. And she went into her magical box of... Stop it! Is this a cobblestone generator? Oh, hey look, naturally cobblestone generator. Okay. Where was I? Distracted. Oh, so she reaches into her cabinet of goodies, which happens to have multiple 3D glasses. I think she'd planned for this. So she gives me my glasses, and I'm like, yay! So then I go back into the movie theater at brutal speeds, because the movie was seriously starting, and I didn't want to miss it, because Iron Man 3. And, I mean, you don't want to miss any movie that you're going to go to, but, I mean, Iron Man 3. So, rushing around, trying to find my seat. The lights are, of course, pitch black, and the first scene of the movie is, like, in a dark cave. And I can't see anything, and I don't want to take my phone out for a little flashlight because everybody would just put a target on my head. So I'm kind of guesstimating where my seat was, and of course more people have gone into the theater and they took my spot, so that threw me off, because I'm like, okay, I'm looking for 3 open seats, where is this? And then there's only 2 open seats because some other guy came in there and took that one. So I'm like, great, thanks man, thanks. So now I'm sitting next to some random guy, and he turns out to be the most animated character in the entire theater, because he gets so into the movie that he starts talking to the screen, and I wouldn't have a problem with that, except he was right next to me, and I could hear everything he was saying. He wasn't shouting or anything, but he was close enough to me where I could hear the conversation, and I kind of, I looked at him every once in a while when he would talk. I was like, I didn't say anything to him, but I kind of gave him the look like, hey guy, this is the same rules as a library. Shut your mouth. But I didn't say anything because I had Sour Patch Kids in my mouth. And the movie goes by, and he's still talking, and I'm at the point where I have to say something, but I don't want to interrupt the movie to say something to him. And it gets to a really loud point, so I'm like, okay, the movie's getting really loud. I could just use this as a perfect time to say, hey, man, can you just keep it down. I'm trying to watch the movie and enjoy it just like everyone else. And I do that at the loud scene just for him to get even louder, completely tune me out, and start talking to the screen again. And I lost it. I got up and I found a different seat. I couldn't do it. This guy, ooh, that pickaxe. What was that? Piggy. Do I have any more iron? Nope. Yeah, that was my awful Iron Man 3 movie experience. Hopefully when I go to see Fast and Furious 6, it won't be an awful situation like that. This time I'm actually going with a friend, so if I have somebody sitting next to me, then I have somebody that's saving my seat. If I have to go panic mode and go get something like a big plate of nachos, because they have some pretty good nachos in the movie theater. I haven't had any good experience with them before. Like, the seats, you know how if you're not sitting in them, they go up? Well, nobody's sitting in the ones next to me, and I had to stand up or something, so I put the nachos in the seat right next to me. I put it down, put the nachos on there, thinking that it would be enough weight to keep it down. No. It just catapulted my nachos into the chair next to me, and I'm just, oh no. Perfectly good nachos. This is nacho my day. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even tried. But, yeah. Whoa, no. But it was bad nacho experience. I don't know how we got onto nachos from that. More things to talk about. More things to talk about. What's in my inventory? Gunpowder, bones. I've broken a bone once in 5th grade. That sucked because I didn't know it was broken, which is always the worst. Because I'd never broken a bone before that, and I'm like 11, so how am I supposed to know what it's like to break a bone? I was playing tetherball. Good old playground game. Rope, ball, pole. That's all you need. And I was playing against a friend before school started. And it was towards the end of the year, I remember, because we were doing some testing. And you know when you're playing tetherball, when the ball gets really close to the pole when you're about to lose or win, and it's wrapping around real fast? Well, I was losing, and I didn't want to lose. Nobody likes to lose. And I take my left arm, and I swing basically as hard as I could at the tetherball, but of course it's getting really close to the pole. So I miss the tetherball, and going full force with my arm, just like that pig went full force into the ground, I shattered my forearm against a tetherball pole. And of course that does not feel great. It hurt excruciatingly. And I didn't really think it was broken, but it got me to tears. I was just like, oh god, no, this is bad. And I was done playing tetherball after that. I went over to where my class was going to be, and I just sat there and was all pouty because, you know, broken arm here. Didn't know it was broken though. And class starts, and tears are still in my eyes. I'm not done yet. They're like watery to the point of my teacher getting concerned, but not so concerned that he goes out of his way to talk to me immediately. He passed out all the tests to us, and we start bubbling the tests. And you know, if you're right-handed, you hold the paper with your left hand to get really exact and precise with your right hand when you're writing. Well, I can't move my arm because it hurts to even think about it. And I'm trying to write with it with my right hand, and my left arm's just dangling to the floor. And finally, and I guess I might have been making some noise, I don't really remember, but my teacher finally comes over to me. He's like, are you alright? Do you need to go see the nurse or anything? Or do you need to step outside? I'm like, my arm really hurts. I think I need to go see the nurse. And he's like, okay, go ahead. And I go over to the nurse, and this is the second time that I've gone to the nurse for something that was really bad. The first time I went to the nurse was in 3rd grade, and I got a staple in my thumb. In the most freakish way. You know when you pull back a stapler to put more staples into it because it's empty? Well, the thing that you have to pull forward that launches the staples out of it catapulted back when I put more staples in, and it launched a staple out and it went straight into my thumb. But luckily it wasn't like you press a stapler onto it, so it didn't bend the tips into my flesh. So that was nice, kinda. It was just a straight shot in. I go to the nurse for that, nurse isn't there. That sucked. I'm just sitting in there waiting for a nurse from a different school within the same district to come to the office and tell me that, hey, there's no possible way to get this out besides yanking it out. And that's that's what she did. She put my thumb under some hot water, told me to look outside. She told me to tell her what I saw outside, and it was foggy that morning, because all I could say was, I see fog, but I couldn't finish saying the word fog, because as I was saying it, she yanked a staple out of my flesh. And it's like, okay, tell me what you see outside. Fog! And then she rushed my thumb under some more hot water, and I kind of looked at it until I saw like a huge bubble of blood coming out, and then I was like, ooh. So I looked away. That was interesting. Oh, I've been here before. We need to find a good way to go. Let's just go this way. So yeah, that was my first bad run-in with the nurse. I had to wait probably half an hour with a staple in my thumb for her to come just to yank it out. Like, if they would have told me that that was the only way to get it out, I probably would have yanked it out myself. Probably. But second time, broken arm, go to the nurse. Nurse isn't there. But, you know, even if a nurse was there, what is she supposed to do? Your arm is broken. I'm going to write you a pass and go back to class. No. So I had to call my madre, and she had to take me out of school and take me to the hospital, but she was busy at work, so she couldn't leave. So she gets one of her friends that she works with to come pick me up, and it's early in the morning, you know, school had just started. I'm not a morning person, and I have a broken arm at the same time, so I'm not in the mood to talk to anybody. This guy that comes to pick me up, he is super, always optimistic, loud person, which he's great to be around at like a party, I guess, but when you're in pain and you just want dead silence, worst person to be around. And I had to sit in the car with him all the way to my mother's work, which was, I don't know how long of a drive that was. Long enough to get me very frustrated with the person driving. And she, when my mom sees my arm, she's like, great, what'd you do? And I told her, and she's like, what? That's, okay, going to the hospital. So we go over to Kaiser Permanente, and apparently they're not as high-tech as you would assume for a hospital to be, because we go, and they're like, okay, your arm might be broken, but we just want to make sure, so we're gonna go get you some x-rays. Okay, and where do we go for that? Completely different hospital on the other side of town. So get back in the car, go to get some x-rays. This has now been probably 2 hours with a broken arm, and pain does not go away. It's not one of those things where you can just walk it off. The pain stays there with you. And spider, skeleton, where are you going? Okay, so 2 hours, broken arm. And where was I go? Oh, we're going to get x-rays. So we get to the other hospital to get x-rays, and they have to put the giant lead thing on you because the x-ray is bad for flesh, even though they're scanning my arm with it. I don't know. So, getting my arm scanned, and they're like, okay, you can go back to the other hospital, and we're going to send these to your doctor. We're like, okay, you're going to send them to the doctor. Apparently, they did not send them to the doctor, because once I got back, they were like, hey, guess what? You were supposed to bring your x-rays back. Where are they, person? Bring them back. What do you want us to do with no x-rays in your arm? And so we had to go back again to get x-rays again, and then bring it back to the original hospital just for them to say, guess what? Your arm's broken. And I'm just like, really? Thanks for letting me know that information. So they were like, okay, we have some prescription medicine that will numb the pain for you, and you're also going to get your cast in a few days. So they wrapped my arm in a splint thing where it just goes over your shoulder, and it keeps you it keeps your arm elevated, basically. And then they give me this giant, like, half-gallon of liquid medicine. And fun fact about me, any variety of medicine completely grosses me out. I have the gag reflex that is so intense that anything bad in my mouth will not go down my throat. No joke intended there. And so this medicine, red, liquid, gross, and it's liquid medicine. You know how liquid medicine is, where it's like, it's not like water, it's really thick, and it's so gross. So to get my mind off it, and I really had to take this medicine, like, even I was okay with taking the medicine because it hurt so bad. Bad? That kind of sound like I said mad. You tell me. And I mixed it with red Gatorade, and it didn't help. It ruined red Gatorade for me. And I actually have a few stories about red Gatorade, but focusing in on the broken arm. The medicine, they didn't tell me, and if they did, I wasn't paying attention because my arm was in pain. This medicine makes you pass out really fast. And it wasn't like a big bottle of Gatorade, but it was a decent sized bottle. And I put the normal dosage that you're supposed to take, and you're supposed to take it like hourly. I don't know what they expect you to do, just pass out for like a week. But you're supposed to take it like once every 4 hours or something, around those lines. And I took it once and I was gone. I had passed out on the couch and woke up for school the next day on the couch, and just got up to go to school with my really weird arm. And I had to take medicine again in the morning. Medicine makes you sleep. And I go to class, and I didn't get to finish my test because, broken arm. So I'm sitting there taking a test, taking a nap, and I was so gone. It was like, they had to wake me up. It's like lunch, everybody's gone, I'm sitting in the class. I'm like, huh? Where is everybody? Everybody's at lunch. You still need to finish your test though, so you can't go. I'm like, okay. So sitting there, bubbling in test, half asleep, and a few days go by, and then I get to receive the real cast, where it's rock solid and everybody gets to sign your cast and everything. And that was really weird. I picked blue, for what it's worth, color of the cast. I like blue. And that's basically the end of that story. I mean, when my arm was finally healed, you can't take a shower with your cast because the water will take the cast off. Like, if you've ever gotten a broken arm before, you'll know that they give you the material that's used for the cast, and they soak it in water to make it react, I guess. A little chemical reaction going on in it. And then they just wrap it around your arm with the gauze, and it's solid. And I guess if you get it wet again, it'll come off. Which, if that's the case, I don't know why they have to use a giant saw to cut your cast off. That thing is so scary. You could feel the heat on your arm when they're cutting it. Well, I couldn't even look at it when they were doing it. I was like, no, nope, just look away, cut it off, don't cut my arm, please. But of course, they're professionals, they would never do that. Yeah, I saw that one coming. But yeah, if you can just soak the cast in water to get it off, they should really just do that, because the saw thing seems kind of, it seems like it's just an excuse for them to use a saw. I mean, I would use it as an excuse to use the saw. But yeah, panic mode. But yeah, so you can't put it under water while you have it, so you can't wash that part of your body. So I never realized how dirty your arm could get within, I forget how long I had to have the cast on. Let's say just like 2 months. 2 months without washing that arm. It's so gross. Your arm gets all wrinkly, and it smells really bad. And you're in the hospital and they're taking the cast off. So once it's off, then you just have to have a really awkward, smelly ride home. Oh, hi. You just have to have a really awkward way home. Okay, Enderman, I want everything to do with your pearls. So, doop. Oh no. God, that reach. Hey man. 1 pearl. Alright. On our way. How long have I been recording? Oh, okay. Well, I've been recording for a while. But I'm gonna keep going. I could just divide it up into different parts. So I guess I could just end this episode here, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Alright. Thanks for watching.